Hello kids and welcome back to Life in the Woods. And I have plans to build today. I have looked at a few little inspiration pictures and let me look at this one just to get a rough idea of what materials I want to take with me to build another small cute little house in front of the park entrance. So I'm going to need some cobblestone and stone bricks and wood. That's all possible. So we'll take this. Do we still have basic? We don't have a lot. So actually we don't have that many vanilla stones there anymore. Should maybe... Yeah, come on. We're just going all in. So when you have your modded stones, you just put them back into vanilla cobblestone and that. I hope everyone is doing okay, is still surviving the heat. Oh, I might want too much. Okay. How did that happen? I am melting, I'll be honest. I am not a person that does well in the heat. Because I meant to, you know, have a stack of cobblestone to build with. That is why. And... maybe we'll go for, like, spruce wood with this. Do we have spruce sap? We have that. I'll grab a couple more bones. Just so we have enough bone meal on us. So, spruce, and I think I also want to work a little bit with oak. We need a grind stream. I might do a grind stream tomorrow or on Thursday. I have a rough inner schedule for how to get things done today and tomorrow, roughly, and you know, I hope that will result in getting a little bit of progress here, because we need that. And I would just like to have one grind stream at least before we have episode 1100. But we will see. We will see. And, yeah. The temperatures are supposed to keep on rising this week. I think we're, like, on the weekend, currently it's saying that we're gonna get close to, like, 40 degrees Celsius. I do not like that. I do not like that at all. I can say that much. Maybe we'll have the entrance actually here, so it's not like directly across from it. Okay, how do I want to do this? I think what we'll do is... how did this picture do it, for example? They also didn't have that many blocks there. Okay. So... I'd say... No, I want to go one further back. And... this is where the wall would be. Yeah, that works. That works actually, like this. And then 2 blocks. Maybe we'll... let's see, if we do this, how far can we really go in? Until here? This is just gonna be like a cute little house. Space will be a bit of an issue, I guess, with how that is looking. I guess we could have this part of the house go out a little more. You know what I mean? Like another 2 blocks. I think I'll go like this. 2 blocks here, 1 block here, just so they have a bit more width in their house. I think that's kind of nice. Come on, until here. And then maybe a small backyard. They don't really need a backyard. They have the park next door. So we could maybe put another tree here and a bit more greenery, given how much I enjoyed doing that a few episodes ago. Sorry. Sacrifices must be made. Yeah, I think that this is okay. This is possible. Okay. We need a burger. We need the crafting table. I like that we can see the lighthouse from here. Yeah, and I don't know why, but today I woke up. I went back to bed this morning after sending the boyfriend off because I was so incredibly tired. It honestly wasn't fun. So yeah, I went back to bed. I ended up sleeping a little bit longer than I intended to, which isn't perfect, but you know, it happened, it's okay. But then when I took my ADHD meds and I kept on like napping for like another 5 minutes, or like a little bit longer than that, I just noticed how my head like started getting this very clear feeling, like my thoughts were just organized. And that was just so nice. Like, yes, these meds do make me feel a lot calmer and energized to begin with, but that was just incredible. So I ended up staying in bed a little bit longer just because it was really comfortable and I had the fan on and it was just nice, you know. Yeah, we need spruce. I think I want to maybe go for chiseled oak for the floor. Like it's so incredible. I just spent a lot of time thinking about stuff, you know, because yesterday was also a day that ended up making me feel very adulty. You know, we had that bank appointment and yeah, I left that place feeling adulty, and that was nice. And yeah, life has been going pretty well. If we ignore the fact that I feel uncomfortable a lot of the times because it is so hot, and I'm still trying to get my body to learn that the heat is okay, we can live with it, but it's hard, you know. I'm probably not staying as hydrated as I should be, but I'm trying to work on that, you know. I have my fun little drinks, you know, like right now I have some iced peach tea here, and a lot of times, usually overnight, you know, I'm not always, when I grab a fun drink in the middle of the day, I'm not going to finish that before I go to bed, necessarily. So usually I leave it at my desk, but with the current temperatures, that's disgusting. So at night, now that I still have a little bit of energy from my meds, I put them in the fridge, and now when I wake up, I have like a super cool drink, and that's so cool. I love that. So yeah, I've been doing that, which is great. And I don't know, I feel good. I feel energized. I feel like I can do things. That's incredible. And I have a lot of friends who I've been talking to lately because, first of all, I've been feeling a lot more I don't know if we necessarily need stone bricks, to be honest. maybe I was a little bit too far ahead there. We'll see. I'll do some testing. I have a lot of friends who have been, why did I want to put that there, talking to lately, because I've also just been feeling more social, and it's just been nice, you know. Half of my friends are like, honestly, almost everyone I've talked to, let's be honest, almost everyone I talked to was like, wow, that sounds really good. I'm in the process of getting diagnosed for ADHD myself, or a situation with another friend who, even before I got my own diagnosis for ADHD, like that was already like 2 or 3 years ago, this friend was getting tested for ADHD. And in my opinion, my friend has, like, basically checks all the boxes from what I can say, from, you know, not like being with them every single day, but from what they say and all that. Like, I feel like that's a ADHD candidate. And okay, I think this is going to look nice. I hope it will. they got tested, and like testing, the place was kind of weird in my opinion from what my friend told me, because they ended up, you know, as a lot of that was also the case for me, they want like people from your childhood to tell them how your childhood was, how you acted, how you dealt with certain things. In my case, they were also like, if you cannot supply that, such statements, questionnaires, whatever, give us your, what's the word? Grade certificates from elementary school. So that was an option. And with my friend, they asked their mom, and their mom apparently wasn't like very active when they were a kid, like in the kid's life. And because the mom said no to some things, my friend didn't end up getting diagnosed with ADHD. And I just feel like, I don't know how I feel about that. My friend also didn't know how they felt about it. But now that, you know, I'm on the God medication and all that, I was like, go get tested. Give it another try, please. And they do agree with that. And yeah, now they're like trying to make something work there, which is exciting. And I really hope that goes well for them. It will be a wait list again, because, you know, wait lists and ADHD diagnosis just go hand in hand. Which is truly a shame, but yeah, I just feel very... Oh gosh, do we need more space? Do we need to do it here? I'm very, very grateful that I had a little bit of extra financial support from my parents to do it at a private place, because I had a wait time of, I think, 2 months. And in my case, I actually asked for one that was like a little bit further out, just because it worked a lot better time-wise for me. So, yeah. What I can say is, I know they increased the prices this year, but because I made my ADHD appointment last year, you know, I got diagnosed in January, and apparently in January they started changing the prices. They charge a bit more now. But I was still on the old price because I made the appointment and like quote-unquote contract last year. I was on the old one, but I'll just say it, for a private ADHD diagnosis in Germany, on their website, I believe they said something like they try to offer it as cheap as possible because they believe it's very important and valuable to people. It was a little bit over 500 euro, which is a lot. And I know maybe I shouldn't have done it. Maybe I should have been responsible and saved that money. But I finally found the commitment to go through with that diagnosis, to do that scary thing. And I did not want to have to wait like 2 years or maybe even just 8 months. But I was ready then. I felt like, okay, I'm ready to possibly change my life. I want to do this, and I am glad I did. For me, with how it's been now on medication, 1.5 weeks into it, I believe this was fully worth the investment. That may not be the case for everyone. I'm sure there are people that end up spending a lot of money on these things and they don't end up with any sort of diagnosis. Maybe they end up with different ones, which can still be helpful in my opinion, but maybe if you go in, it's gonna sting when you end up paying a lot of money and you don't get the result you were expecting necessarily. I do know that place also diagnoses autism, so there is of course a chance for the people that go in thinking they have ADHD, they come out with autism instead. Yeah, it's quite something. And I'm just, I'm very, very grateful that I was able to do it, because I know in today's economy that's not like a normal thing really. But for me, it was just like the best path really. And what I really like about, the private place, which is like, in my opinion, whenever you do go to like a private medical place, you are just sort of taken better care of. Is that how you speak? I don't know how to speak English. I'm so sorry. Like, I just I just felt very like, you know, people listen there, and what I really, really like is they have like all these connections to other places. Like, okay, you get your ADHD diagnosis, but you will need a psychiatrist to prescribe you medication if that's something you want. Finding a psychiatrist these days is pretty hard, I believe. And, you know, then again, there's like wait lists and all that. In my case, the place I got diagnosed at has like a cooperation with a psychiatrist, which always takes patients from the diagnosis place. So I now have a incredibly kind psychiatrist who has like the calmest vibes I've ever experienced from any human being. Like, I just feel so chill in there. Worries gone. And I've only spoken to him like twice and only for a handful of minutes each. So that's a very strong aura, I have to say. Like that for me, having these like long-term added bonuses, I would just say it, made it worth it. I mean, of course, I wouldn't have minded to just have $500 to spend on vacation next month, but, you know, sometimes you just figure out some things may be worth it for you, others, almost a stack, others may not be as worth it. I guess that's like all up to the individual. But yeah, that is how I've been feeling about it. And you know, so why am I having so many notifications? Oh, boyfriend has like 1 more hour of school today, and he just finished his work, and now he has to stay there for an hour. Cool. Okay. Nope, not what I meant to do. I wanted to go in here and grab the chisel already. I don't know how exactly I will be building this. Well, actually, I think we might need the stone bricks. There are a couple things I want to try. First of all, do we have... Okay, this could also maybe be cool. Creeper panel with dent. I want to try this. I just want to try, you know, make more unique builds. Don't always go for the same styles and layouts. I mean, kind of looks like, you know, that family house and our house, but I'm trying to not have it look like that completely. I think we go up 3 blocks, if I'm not mistaken, here to have like a small roof and all that. Yeah, I think that might be kind of a vibe. Cobblestone with panel, okay. I know I could just click on them a couple times, but okay, no one will probably see that one, but I don't care. I know it's there, and that is what matters. Given that this is like one of the later ones, I might click 1 more time on accident, or my mouse might do that, because lately it's been doing that, I think. And I just, yeah. Basically, in other words, I feel very good today. Despite the heat, you know, if we ignore that icky feeling, being sweaty, and needing the fan, it's been very nice. I just feel happy, and just in general so grateful for all the support I get in so many ways. Like, you know, having now this like medical aspect where I feel very well taken care of, and a psychiatrist that like really listens to me. I do have another appointment there this week, which I'm kind of excited for, because last time I was there, I was like, you know, what about the antidepressants? Because the diagnosis place was like, you might be just able to go off them, you know. I'm like, what do we do there? And my psychiatrist was like, you start with the ADHD medication, we'll see how you feel, and depending on that, we'll see how we go further. And, you know, so far I just feel happy. I feel so good. So chances are I might be able to go off the antidepressants, which, you know, first of all, a huge win that would be. But also, antidepressants cause extreme struggles with heat. And chances are, if I go off them, I could handle the heat a lot better. The ADHD medication that I'm on does not appear to be part of medication that causes heat problems. Could, of course, be the case, but not from what I have read so far, and also from like the side effects in there. So that's very cool. And yeah, I don't know. I just, you know, I also just feel like I'm doing so much better, and back to the part of feeling supported. I just, again, my parents, as often as I disagree with them, we have so many different opinions. They do support me in so many different ways, which I really, 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 really appreciate. And just means a lot to me, you know. And then also the boyfriend, you know, gave me his PC so I could do my content better and stuff like that. And also yesterday, again, that there was just like a lot of cute but serious adult stuff. Like I just love them a lot. And then like my friends are also just so nice and supportive, and I love them so much. And seeing all these people coming onto the channel because I make silly little video. Oh god, I'm gonna cry. It just means so much to me. Like every single time I see a new comment, I'm just happy. Seeing likes go up. I know it's just random numbers that don't mean anything. I would still be. I mean, I have this 1,000 plus episode Minecraft Let's Play that as of lately hasn't really been getting many views, but I'm okay with that because I do this because I enjoy it. And the fact that there are sometimes people that come in, sometimes with Minecraft, sometimes with other series, sometimes they venture out and start watching other stuff, and they support it, and there are people that, you know, buy my membership, that subscribe to my Twitch now. That just means the absolute world to me, you know? Like, I'm just a little old me, and I'm living a good life now, I think. And that is incredible. I don't know what else here to say, really, you know? Okay, I want to try to maybe chisel a little bit of this. Is there anything that might look good? What about this? I do not like that it's like so blocky. Like, you know, this is like nicely connected. This has like these individual lines between everything. I don't like that. But I would like to build with spruce, but I just don't want it to look like spruce, you know what I mean? What if we were to go with the same like design here that we have from these ones? We sort of do that. Isn't this the floor that we have for the clock shop? I want to double check that. Or maybe we already built with that on the outside. In that case, I might switch. But yeah, I feel very happy. And also yesterday, I mentioned in the last episode, we had an appointment at the bank. We didn't? Not at all? Where did we use that? It's different ones. Huh. Maybe we should have a hanging lamp in here after all. Just for vibes. Weird. I could have sworn we built with that somewhere. You know, obviously I've mentioned before many times, I'm most likely going to be someone who is self-employed. I have like various possible ways there, you know. Obviously these days it is also content creation, but as always I don't want this to be like my job, just because I really enjoy it. This is a hobby that brings me so much joy and happiness, and I don't want that to be taken over by trying to make money with it, you know. I just don't want that. But, you know, as of currently, it is a little side income, which more about that in a second. So there is that. I one day might have a little art shop, just because that's something I really love and I'm passionate about. It's just for that I really want to increase my skills to offer the best possible product in that case. Being an author, obviously. Yeah, those are like sort of the categories. There are a couple other like creative things that I'm considering, but we'll just put that in with the artsy stuff for now to make it easier. And my banking lady was, you know, she always asked like, so how's your like journey going? And I was able to say that I'm like very, very close to the first payout. I think it's probably still gonna be like a month, but it's starting to be real, you know? And it's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy to me. Actually, I think maybe in this case... I think I want a little bit more cobblestone here before... Do I want to... I have an idea. Yeah, we leave that. And there was also some other stuff that we did yesterday at the bank, you know, some serious adulting stuff and all that. And for one of these things, my banking lady needed my profession. She was like, should I put you in as self-employed or more as like sort of housewife? And I looked at my boyfriend and I was like, yeah, I don't really know, because, you know, I'm not like really self-employed yet. We're getting there. I will probably reach a point soonish where I have to, you know, legally start a business, you know, to put like my quote-unquote brand under that. Yeah, so there's that, but it's not really happening yet. But we went for self-employed for now, and they had like certain categories that you had to select one from. And I had to officially be titled something for the first time, which kind of big, kind of scary, but also I don't like the name. Because we had... Here's the thing, I don't... My social... no. My banking lady does not know I do YouTube. At least I don't think she does. Because I use the term... I do things on social media, which I guess, yeah, kind of that. But they had to put me in as influencer. And I do not like that term. I do not like that term. First of all, because of the influencer flu. I don't know, is it also called that in English? Because you know, you have the influencer on the social media, but then you have this is a flu. I prefer the term content creator because, you know, I'm not trying to like influence anyone necessarily. Unless it's playing cool games, then maybe I am trying to influence you there. But, you know, I'm just trying to provide like a chill experience and all that, and not like, you know what I mean? I just feel like content creator fits a lot better for what I'm trying to do here. And yeah, but we had to go with influencer. Yeah. First time being titled that. That was an experience. Wait, did I do one too much? Because I want the door to be here. No, actually we didn't do one too much. This is okay. This is sort of what I wanted. Not perfect, but hey, it's something, you know? Similar to what we have there, I know. Now that I found like new styles, I put them everywhere. Yeah, that was something. I'm just like very happy and grateful that, you know, I am giving these options to, you know, first of all, take my time with things. I used to think I'd have my first book out at 18. That didn't happen. 24. Maybe we'll have something publishable by the end of the year. That is one of my goals, but I do have to get back to writing for that. And, you know, I'm not like being forced by anyone in my life to, you know, get a job, because I don't think mentally I could handle a normal job. I might be able to work at a bookstore at least part-time. From previous experiences, I have enjoyed that, but the local bookstore is not hiring, and I'm not mobile, so I would have to be driven to a job, and then my parents would have to drive back home and then pick me up again, and that's just not it. We don't have public transport here, really. I mean, we would, but then I'd have to... That would be super complicated without getting too much into the details. It would involve like a lot of wait times and like I don't know, like, I would probably have to get a bike at another station and like just keep that there at all times, and it's just not really possible right now. And you know, the fact that I'm just given this time to figure out what I want to do, what I can do, what could bring in income and all that, that just means so much to me, because it is not the norm to necessarily be given all this time to figure yourself out. So yeah, I'm just very happy, and I really, really do appreciate all of that. I like how, you know, this all matches, the nice lines in there. I really do like that. Pretty happy with this so far. The little stone additions there also look nice. I like that. And yeah, I don't know, I'm just happy. That's the point, you know. Very grateful for everything, and oh, we're sleeping sideways. Cool. It's just, yeah. I mean, I do know a lot of people my age or a little bit older that do still live with their parents or live with their parents again, which, you know, is reassuring, because currently we can't really afford an apartment, because, you know, I look at I'm listed for the newsletter for apartments in our area. Not because we are going to get one of them, but just because I want to see what's available, how's the situation, you know, what's going on there. And we would probably need at least a 3-bedroom apartment. So, you know, that would mean, you know, kitchen and bathroom is not included in those 3 rooms. A lot of times the kitchen is in the living room though. In that case, that would count as 1 room. So we want a living room, a bedroom, and I need an office. If we would have like a 3.5 room with like a little sided off corner somewhere for a boyfriend office, that would be great. If we would find a affordable 4-bedroom, that would also be acceptable. But again, that's the struggle, because in my area, you know, not like something that has a lot of things to do, lots of like popular stuff, or, you know, it's just like a little small town area. Nothing crazy, not a lot of possibilities. They do usually want over 1,000 euro a month cold for the apartment, which means you still have to pay for heating and water and electricity. Then they want like 25 to 50 for parking every month, and I'll be honest, that is currently just not in it. And to not be pushed out by my parents to, you know, go in debt in over of them having this room free again, it means a lot, because this means we can wait until we find something that's affordable. We have the option to save money, and, you know, I just really appreciate that. We had a lot of serious yapping here today. I feel yappy, I'm sorry, but it's been nice. Thank you for listening to this little yap session. Excited to see how this house is gonna come along. We'll add in the windows soon and a little roof. We'll have the attic probably be the bedroom, but we'll have to see how we can do that. Maybe it will just be a little hangout room, because, you know, the roof might, especially in that area, tighten the space quite a bit. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please drink enough water, stay hydrated, take your meds, take your vitamins, and I hope things are going well. And if they're not, I hope they will go well soon. And yeah, goodbye!